Edward Woman, I came from Penelu. Yes, I know the woman of Wood. You don't want to, yes, you read your Lord.
There are different manifestations of truth.
Since you any other Abakama money.
As men of God are many and various, so are the children of the world.
Now, the Dovasi, a well, the Dory put in my wife,
Hallelujah! Yes.
And as many as they may be, there is but one God in them all.
Now, my people want to get it. Forget the money for Abasi. Forever, in a moment, they are on Jesus.
Amen.
One God is officiating in worldly children as well as the children of God.
Abasi, what about the group? Nito, very good. Abasi, what going about between the dollars?
Amen. You should understand that God is responsible for the behavior of all the people in the world.
You want you to now you go Baba, you know, Abasi, and I'm Guru.
There is nobody who says that he understands the life of man.
About spending one chemical and many your home, you will go from about
As we are here, we do not know even the behavior of our children.
taking the word of me, it will be door for my land, never go to your home.
A person will remain with you, listening to and following your instructions, but you will not know that he does not approve of them.
I work a bit of at that you go on and then go, self down, one after we have said to me, I don't know, you know, it's so much of a good. You know, you go on.
Amen. One God speaks all the languages in the world,
Abasi, the person after Brussels about the Brotherhood.
and he understands all of them.
And then going on the other
The same God can control the activities in the world.
Abasi, going on a private and body.
Do not accuse any man of guilt or death, because God knows all things.
Who go on the prophet said, the
It is true that people do not know that God is responsible for all the actions in the world.
I don't want to get my people practicing the bed who said,
Amen. He manifests himself in various ways. Here, people may sing with different tunes. It is one God singing through
I
the Lord Jesus Christ, now and forevermore. I am indeed very grateful to all members of this fellowship that have come here today. You are a rare demonstration of faith, of devotedness to the Father, is worthy of commendation. I want to call on ABAS that these last phase or last lap of our wonderful race to inherit the kingdom have just begun today. Beloved brethren, can I assure all of us that we are, as described in the Bible, the children and the faithful of God. And the oath on us, as children and faithful, to be committed, dedicated to the work of God. No matter how trying the time is, this is the time that the true children of God will be known. Like the Bible says, it says the storms will blow, the wind will also blow, the rain will fall, and if your house is actually on a solid foundation, which is the word of God, you can never fall. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. So to those children of God who are dedicated, whose word of God is very firm, and who knows what they are doing here, I can assure you that you do not have a problem at all. On that note, I call on all of us to read diligently and devotedly the words of God that's contained in our holy book, Brotherhood, and practice it. That way, you will not be shaken by anything. You will focus your faith and your attention on the Father and the Father alone. If you do that, you can be sure that the Father has kept His kingdom for you. Tell you, beloved brethren, in 2017, the Father revealed to us the registration of selected children of God. Children of God that were selected were being registered in the Spirit, 2017. And I want to assure us that we don't have a problem at whatsoever. This is our Father's kingdom. And those who God has chosen will be here to the end. Therefore, don't allow your faith to weaken at all. Because when you think that all hope is lost, the Redeemer appears. And our redemption is very close, very, very near. That note, I want to thank everybody that has come. And those who have not been able to come, I enjoy them to come next time. So thank you, and may God bless us now and forevermore.
Amen. Page 975. Holy Book of Brotherhood of the Cross and Star, page 975, subheading 7.1. Subheading 7.4. John chapter 10, verse 14. Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The earthly plane is temporal. The earth plane is a dead plane. But the real world is the spiritual realm. When the time is due for somebody to be transferred from this physical realm to the spiritual realm, that translation, when we call it death, but there's nothing like death, but we are just going to use that language so that all of us will understand in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. When it is time for somebody to be translated to the world beyond, there will be an announcement in the spiritual realm. Then the angel of death will be commissioned to escort the person from this spirit, from this physical realm to his real home. question is, how many of us have set ourselves ready for the real home? If at all we are ready, how? To what extent are we ready? In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. The Holy Book of this Kingdom, page 967, with the theme, Man is Immortal. Subheading 6.8. The earthly plane is temporary. How spirit becomes flesh. That's our another subtopic. According to the defined plan of God Almighty, before any spirit becomes flesh, before any spirit comes as a man, the spirit must pass through a woman's womb. That is the only channel that God has kept for all the spirit, be it a good spirit, be it a bad spirit. If you must come to this earth plane to carry out a long-term assignment, you must do what? Have this flesh. Where on earth is this flesh molded? Which industry? It is only in the woman's womb. And this condition is applicable also to God. Note, God is not like worldly government that they will design a rule, fix what we call constitution, but they themselves will not follow the constitution, but they want others to follow it. For instance, they will design a road, fix the traffic lights, and make the traffic rules. But have you ever seen your governor obey the traffic rule? Instead, they will deprive others of their rights, then they pass. Is that a good leader? No, God is not like that. God says all spirit does what? Passes through the womb of a woman. He himself has done that. When he came as our Lord Jesus Christ, he did that. Now that he has come as the Holy Spirit personified in the Olumba Odu, he also did that. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. So that is the only channel for all the spirits that wants to come to this earth plane for a long-term assignment, except it is coming to perform a short-term assignment. That is when you will see it come as a quickening spirit, like that one the disciples received when they were praying in their room. Then the Holy Spirit now descend upon them, empowering them to go out and preach. It was just something of a few seconds. But for that Holy Spirit to come down and dwell, you see him, he must pass through the normal process kept by him. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, before this Spirit comes in, this Spirit will enter into a covenant between him and the parents, whether it will be a boy or a girl, depending on the assignment that the Spirit is coming to you, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. So, this Spirit will remain in the womb for 9 months. At times, it may stay for a year or 2 years or so, depending on the condition or how it places it in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Now, this Spirit will be there, undergoing certain developmental process. At times, a pregnant woman will say, I want to drink water, I want to eat beans, I want to drink oil, I want to do this, I want to eat groundnut. It is not the problem of that pregnant woman. Those things are demanded by the Spirit for it to use and build its membrane. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. So, after that, after 9 months, the Spirit will now come out and you will see a human being. Right from the day the Spirit is born into the world, what the Spirit will face in this world depends on what he did in his previous life, in his previous incarnation, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. So there is nothing like man die go. Man die go, no. When you finish, the file is there. And when you go, as you're coming back, all those things will display again in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, the womb of the woman is the spiritual grave for all the spirits to pass through while coming to this earth plane. Now, as you're going back, you take the other way around. For instance, as you were coming from your destination to this place, along the express road, you took a particular lane. As you're going back, you cannot take that very lane again, though you're going to where you came from. Is it not? That same thing is applicable in this analogy. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. So, according to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 85, women received their dead raised to life in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. So, that is where you find those groups. Man and the evolution of religion. Now, let us examine this, because at times we will wonder what is happening to human beings' life. You will see somebody worshiping idol. You will see somebody worshiping stone. You will see some worshiping water. See how it started. When God created man, God used to sit side by side with man to teach man. His aim was to teach man and lead man to the accurate knowledge of truth. But along the line, you and I knew what happened. We've been hearing the story. God stopped appearing to man. So man was half educated. Half education, my brethren, is a very dangerous thing. Somebody that is half educated is even better you don't even go at all. But for a medical doctor or an engineer to be half educated, you know what that can cause. So, man did not attain to the knowledge on how he can worship God objects. Whoever worships stone will be seen as worshiping God. Water, trees, fire, the same thing. As times went on, angels were introduced to man gradually. Man now saw angel and started worshiping angel as an advance to the worshiping of inanimate objects he was worshiping before. Man continued worshiping angels. All those names we call Jehovah, Elohim, Jah, this and that, are the names of angels introduced to man in those days. But when man realized himself at a time, man realized himself that man can be worshipped as God, that God can be man and man can be God. That was the time of when God came down in person of our Lord Jesus Christ. So, when our Lord Jesus Christ came, man now saw worshiping of man like God, because our Lord Jesus Christ was worshipped like God. Man now saw that worshipping of human being like God as an advance to the worshipping of angels. So now some people are still worshipping angels, some are still worshipping inanimate objects like before. But others have come to that realization that God is man and man is God in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, page 1542, subheading 2. 25.11, Definition of Religion. Man and his honorable position given by God. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 17. Honor all men, love brotherhood, fear God, and honor the king. Now, some of us say, oh, I don't worship man, I want to worship the real God. But God is telling us here, honor all men. What constitutes of all men? Is it not a mandate? When you are enjoined to love brotherhood, what constitutes brotherhood? Is it not man? Is it not human being? Now they say, honor the king. Is the king not human being? Fear God. God is actually human being. Because if they say that God is not human being, John chapter 1 verse 1 down says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. When you go down to verse 14, it says, and the Word was made flesh. And that, what is that flesh? Is it not human being? That means Word is equal to God, is equal to flesh. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Page 46, subheading 3.11. Man and religion. Now, Judaism, Christianity, and Brotherhood of the Cross and Star, there's this chain link. Christianity came out of Judaism. Brotherhood of the Cross and Star came out of Christianity. Then, in these three segments, we have teachers. In Judaism, Moses, as a teacher, testified about our Lord Jesus Christ, that he will come. When our Lord Jesus Christ came as a teacher in Christianity, he testified about the soul, spiritual head, and that's the final man. No one is coming after him. Page 306 with the theme, the Holy Spirit and the World Unification. Subheading 8.5, you are in a spiritual university now. Judaism brought about the primary aspect of knowledge of God, of the Word of God. Then Christianity brought about the secondary aspects of the knowledge of God, that's the Word of God. Now, Brotherhood of the Cross and Star has come up with the tertiary or university level of the teachings of the knowledge of God in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, man and the cycle of death and reincarnation. Man's existence on earth is a mystery that no one has understood. Man keeps revolving round the circle of death and reincarnation because of what? Lack of love. This is how it goes. When you hurt a fellow person, retaliate and take vengeance, it is being counted and recorded for you as what? Debt. That is why it is said in the scripture, owe no man any debt, but love one another. So this debt will be paid when you reincarnate, when you are translated. Man is not allowed to go straight to God because of what? This debt. Though man came from God, but cannot go straight back because you are going what? Debt. It's just like institution. If you fail a course, if you fail one course, you cannot graduate. Am I lying? No. So if you fail one course on earth, owe a debt, you will be sent back to come and pay that debt until you pay and finish all this debt before you now go back straight to God, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Page 967, subheading 6.13. When man goes on transfer, it is not allowed to go straight to God because of this very reason of debt. When man is able to clear all his debts, he will be energized to break that circle of death and reincarnation and now go back to God. At that stage, if you come back to the earth plane, you are coming for a special assignment. And you go back in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Man was not created to be enslaved by Satan. The only reason that seems as if man is being enslaved is because of what? The mistakes we commit and the sin we commit. Mind you, a slave does not abide forever, but a son. Even the scripture has said it. No matter how many slaves you have, at a time those slaves will go back to where they all came from, to where they belong. But only a son will abide forever. So that is the reason why our father, leader Olumba Ogu, has come in this era to lighten up the way of man, so that man will be able to break that circle of death and reincarnation and go back to God in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. John chapter 8, verse 38 to 37. Life of man after death. The situation between life and death is like oil floating on the water. The oil on top of the water does not know what is going on under the water. That water under the oil does not know what is going on with the oil flowing on it. When you see someone making an open confession, by the time the person wants to go on transfer, who do you think he's talking to? He is confessing to Almighty God. Because without doing so, he will not be able to pass. Page 967, subheading 6.10. The angel of God controls all those people who have gone on transfer. Some people, when they go on transfer, cannot come back. Some will be sent to the water. Some will be sent to different planets. Some will be sent to the forest, depending on the stage of righteousness of that very person. Page 971, subheading 6.10. We do not know our spiritual status. It was only our Lord Jesus Christ who was conscious of the spiritual realm and the physical realm. That was why he said, I know where I come from. Even up till now, nobody else has made this statement except leader Olumba Ogu, who boldly say, I know myself and myself knows me. And that's the highest statement in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. Page 955. With the theme, Man Know Thyself. 5.10. Leader Olumba Ogu and the world. Conclusion. Anything done to God is done to man. We have to note this. Now that you have known that man is a part of God, it's not this flesh. This very flesh was not present before creation. But that spirit, which is part of God, has been before creation, and that is God. So anything you do to man, you are doing it directly to God. If you are a wicked person, you practice wickedness, you affect another person in one way or the other, you are doing it directly to God. If you are charitable, kind to a fellow man, you are doing the same to God. Brethren, because of time, we shall stop there so far, but let us now understand and take it home that whatever you do to a man, you are doing it to God. When we say man, we generalize human being, be you young, old, or women, men are the same. All are classified into man. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
In the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Now and forevermore.
A bold goal. Now the question is, what is the size of your goal in life? Does it scare you? Have you checked your life? What do you want to become? How do you want to be remembered? How are you living your life? What are your dreams and aspirations? Do you look at them and then you say, will I ever be able to achieve this? If your goals are not in tandem with those qualities I've just mentioned, that means you're not setting a very bold goal. For example, myself, I love the microphone, I love talking. Until I talk at the international stage, or until I talk at the UN, I will not stop talking with the microphone. That is my goal. Please, the next slide. Number 2, how to train your brain. Face your fears. I define fear, I see fear as an acronym. First, forget everything and run. When you're afraid, you have to forget everything and run. Or you either face everything and rise. I want to use a very natural circumstance, a phenomenon that happened sometime last year during the celebration conference of the Not Too Young to Run at Abuja. I told my brothers who were able to go to Abuja, and we were the only people representing Akwa Ibom State in the Not Too Young to Run movement. And then our own friend and brother over there asked us to come and lodge with him instead of spending money getting an apartment or a hotel room for ourselves. And then we obliged. Then in that very compound, there were 2 dogs. Our friend had one, and another neighbor had a dog. The dog was always in chains, but on that fateful morning, while we were coming out, I and Brother Joseph Evion, we never knew the dog wasn't in chains. Immediately we came out, and the dog pursued us, and you need to see the 100-meter senior boys. And then my brother was running away from the compound, and I had to climb the staircase again and bounce the dog. Now we forgot everything and we ran. We were not able to grow because we were afraid. We couldn't face our fears. I had to go inside, call the owner of the dog to come and take the dog before we could go to wherever we were going. But then, after careful analysis, we said we have to face this dog and we have to rise. The first to take a bold step was my brother. He went outside, bought biscuits, 100 naira. Came while the dog was in chains. He carefully tiptoed and fed the dog until he was confident enough to stand side by side with the dog. Now he fetched everything and he rose. When I saw that, I said, I cannot be living in this fear when my brother is above it. I had to go downstairs also, and I bought biscuit for 200 naira. Because I wanted to be very, very friendly with the dog. I fed the dog, and we were taking turns to feed the dog whenever the food was ready. And then before we could leave there, I learned something about the dog, that if you feed a dog once, even if you leave and you come back in 20 years, that dog can never forget your face and appearance. And then we were able to live in that compound in peace. Whether the dog was in chains or not, we were able to do whatever and go about our daily activities without any form of fear. Please to the next slide. Number 3, say no to the good. We have a lot of goodies in our life. We have a lot of things that are so good to us that at some point we don't want to let go of them. For example, we have our comfort zone. And I want to tell you today that you cannot grow in your comfort zone. Nobody has ever been able to grow in his or her comfort zone. If you don't leave your comfort zone, you cannot grow because you are too comfortable. Now, sometimes say no to the good to create space for the great. whenever you're able to say no to something good, there's something greater that is in view that you'll be able to achieve. Now, if you find yourself in the wrong crowd, leave the wrong crowd immediately. What is the wrong crowd? The wrong crowd is a place you find yourself, and what you discuss does not bring about any form of personal development or any business idea. I read something on Facebook. It said that in Nigeria or in Africa, people can call their friends to sit down and they share a bottle of wine or drinks. But seldom do people call people to sit down and talk about business. It is true. Most times we find ourselves unavoidably in the wrong crowd. Whenever you understand that that crowd is not developing you in any way, leave that crowd. It is the wrong crowd. Don't hang out unnecessarily. The next slide. Number 4, break your big vision into small steps. In the beginning, when I was talking about the bold goal, I made mention of myself that I want to be speaking at the UN or on the international stage. Now that is a very big goal. I'm here to leave Nigeria at my age, but then I'm aiming to speak at UN. How am I going to do that? Like I said, courage, you have to go in every day just like Muslims. That's why I'm here talking. That's why I talk anywhere I find time to talk. Anywhere I see opportunity, I seize the microphone and I have something to say. I try to be interesting because I want to build that courage such that when I'm sitting down there or I'm standing up there at the UN, I'll be able to talk authoritatively without any form of fear. Now, we know the staircase. For example, this building has a staircase. Whenever you go to climb the staircase, you don't see the end of the staircase, but you climb. Why do you climb? Because you know that once you climb, at least it will take you to your destination. Where is your destination? This other side of the building. And now you climb the staircase without seeing the end of it. Just the first step and you are good to go. Break your visions into small steps. Just see the first steps and take off and you will get there. What matters is knowing the direction in which you want to head. Even if you're not clear on a specific end point, that is not the problem. Just keep going. Now think about 12 months. What will you be doing in 12 months towards achieving your goals? When you think in terms of 12 months, think then in 6 months. And then think about 2 months. Then 2 weeks. And then tomorrow. And then today, what is that thing you're going to be doing today that will lead you to that goal of yours that you had set for yourself? It was Mark Zuckerberg that said that ideas don't come fully formed. They come in flashes. The more you work on them, the clearer it appears. Just like Facebook. If you're using Facebook, you understand that every month they tell you update. Why do you have to update? Because there is a fresh and new feature that has been added. That is growing. And you could recall when we started Facebook how it was. We used the web version at first, but now we're having the app. So ideas don't come fully formed, they come in flashes. Once you have that idea, it was Richard Branson that said that every time he's going out, he goes out with a pen and a notepad. Because you could be sitting down, even in your restroom, and then an idea comes. If you don't jot it down, it goes, because ideas comes from the universal bank of thoughts, and you find yourself saying, I had this idea and this person is working on that idea, or this person stole my idea. Truth is, nobody stole your idea. Since you did not work on it, the idea goes to a lot of people. The first person to act on it becomes the owner of the idea. So even if you had it and you never did anything about it, it is not your idea until you do something about it. Please, the next slide. Number 5, apologize. Forgive and avoid anger. Now let me be religious a bit. Our Holy Father, on the 14th of February 1942, said that nobody on this physical earth could get him angry. Why? Because he's been able to avoid anger. Whatever thing you do that you think could get him angry, he's able to shove it and move on with his life. Now, apologizing takes you out of your comfort zone. It is not easy to apologize, to admit that you were wrong. It is not easy to own up to something you did. But then, if you're able to do it. That came with whatever mistakes that brought about that apology that would warrant us to even forgive anybody. About anger, I define anger as the punishment you give yourself for another person's mistakes. For example, I walk down and say, I slap you. It is my crime that I slap you. I'm the person committing the crime. I'm the person making the mistakes. And then you become angry and you punish yourself. You're not free again. You can't laugh. Anytime you see me, you're angry that I slapped you. You keep punishing yourself over my own mistakes. So to avoid anger, just to avoid punishing yourself, avoid anger in totality. And then you live your good life. Please, the next slide. Number 6, gain knowledge. How do you gain knowledge? You read. You read and you read. There is no other way to gain knowledge than for you to read. That lecturer that is teaching you is because that lecturer had prepared and had read and reread. If you don't read, you cannot gain knowledge. It was said that by the whites that if you want to hide anything from an African, just put it in pages of paper. They will never have the time to open it. But I thank God that we are breaking that jinx now. So keep reading. Read books of personal development. Read the Bible. Read the road to you. But focus on your personal development. Because if you don't develop yourself so much to be able to meet your contemporaries outside there, you become a laughing stock. Because people will ask you, why are you like this? This is your number. Has he not taught you this? Has he not taught you forgiveness? Has he not taught you? Oftentimes I hear people say, that man, this person is not behaving the way that man is asking them to behave. Why? Because you refuse to develop yourself, because you feel this slogan that we have as the Father pleases can take over everything. At some point in time, you have to take action. You don't have to wait. If you get a pail of water, you go to the bedroom, or you have a shower, just go there, hold your clothes, stand there, keep praying for that water to wash you. It will never happen. Life is not governed by miracles. Life is governed by principles. If you don't sow, you don't reap. So get knowledge. Knowing something will build your confidence. Wherever you are about to talk about something you know, you'll be confident enough to talk about it. The next slide. Number 8, rebel. This one sounds somehow, but it's good and true. Rebel. Leaders are rebels. If you don't rebel, you cannot lead. If you become too comfortable with the happenings around you, you cannot improve yourself. We can recall how Brotherhood started from our history. We're in a thatched house, but look at us today. In a story building. It was because we became uncomfortable with that situation and we rebelled. And we did something about it. Don't just rebel, do something about it. Leaders are rebels. If you don't rebel, if you don't get out of your comfort zone, if you don't become uncomfortable with the happenings around you, you cannot grow yourself. Because once you become uncomfortable with the happenings around you, you'll be able to look for solutions to better yourself and the situation. Now don't settle for the status quo. Oftentimes people will say, that's how it has been since time immemorial. Be uncomfortable with things. Change things. If you don't dare to do anything, you cannot change the narrative of anything. All these great men we are reading about, all these big and good men, established men that we are reading in the pages of newspapers, we are reading in novels, it was because they became uncomfortable with the happenings around them. And they had to do something. When you try something and you fail, you've not failed. Once you're failing, fail forward. So rebel and then get to do something about what you are uncomfortable with. Speak up. Stand up for what is right. Please, the next slide. Be committed. Commitment, I mean, be focused. I want to give you a story of a soldier, a young recruit that was taken into the army. Once he got to the army, he was on his first parade, the swearing-in ceremony. And then one of the people to grace that occasion was a general that has been established, that has won a lot of medals, that has been proven in service and character. And then, as bold as this young man was, he walked up to the general and said, "Sir, please, I want to ask you, what is your secret that you have succeeded so much in the army?" And the general got furious, ordered his guards to round him up, and he was taken to the guard room. And then the general gave him a simple but very great task. He gave him 20 bullets, gave him a gun, and showed him a target, and told him, "You are to aim at that target and don't miss any of them. If you miss any of it, you'll be sentenced to life imprisonment." As sweating as the guy was, as nervous as he was, he stood behind the gun and aimed at that target, and finally he got the 20 bullets right to the end, to the target. Now what happened? He was taken to the general's office, and then the general asked him, "Are you done?" He said, "Yes." While he was still breathing and panting, the general asked him, "While you were shooting, did you hear that gun blast?" He said, "No, sir. I was too focused on this target. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in jail." And the man said, "While you were shooting, did you see your wife and children passing?" "Sir, I did not even have any time to notice that too. I was too focused in getting this target right. I don't want to spend my life in jail or prison." And then the man told him, "Did you even hear when I was calling you?" And he knelt down and said, "Sir, I'm sorry. I did not listen. I did not have time to listen. I was too focused on the task you gave me, sir." And the general smiled and hugged him and told him that the secret to success in whatever you're doing in life is to be committed and focused. Last but not the least, good morning, brethren, and thank you for having me.
Father, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, at least for the life and protection only, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, now forevermore. The title of my song is "Thou Lead Me." Lead me to the road where living waters flows. Holy Spirit, now descend in showers. The red are thoughts and deeds, and give peace to the troubled mind. Now touch the heart of man. May thy presence felt within, the light that shine aright. Shine now and shine always. Now touch the heart of man. May thy presence felt within, the light that shine aright. Shine now
pray.
On the topic, depression. We all know that our day-to-day life we discover that in our daily activities we happen to meet depression. So I'm not going to take much of our time because the topic is self-explanatory. So here, depression is a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest, also called major depressive disorder. It affects how we feel, think, behave, and live a variety of emotional and physical problems. You may have trouble doing normal day-to-day activities, and sometimes you may feel as if life is not worth living. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, depression is a disorder marked especially by sadness, inactivity, difficulties in thinking and concentration, a significant increase or decrease in appetite, time spent sleeping, feelings of dejection and helplessness, and sometimes suicidal tendencies. We're going to look at the signs and symptoms of depression. When we look at the mood, at times you see that you are being moody, or your fellow sister or brother is moody. What comes into your mind is this person is depressed. So what you are going to do at that moment, draw that person closer to yourself. Let the person last. On your own, you know that yes, at this moment I am depressed. Reduce interest or pleasure in activities previously enjoyed. You find out that the things you like doing, your daily activities, when you are depressed, you don't concentrate any longer. You don't enjoy doing those things you like doing. At times, even when you want to do it, that spirit, that tendency, that particular this thing will come and you will forgo what you're supposed to do in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. We look at the unintentional weight loss. Some persons, when they are depressed, immediately, at times to give them just a day, it will show in them. They will lose weight totally. And you see them very sluggish, they are just weak. So when you discover that kind of person, what you have to do at that moment is sending you draw that person to yourself, or you yourself seeing those symptoms in you try to encourage yourself. We have here is insomnia or hypersomnia. In insomnia, the person finds it difficult to sleep. For instance, when you want to have your rest, you can't sleep, you throw yourself up and down, sleep not. All you need to do at that moment is to rest. just relax your mind. Then, hypersomnia, excessive sleeping. You see, some of us want to sleep at all times, especially when we are in prayer practice or in service. When someone is going on, see us sleeping. At that moment, you are depressed. Delay in psychomotor skill. This one is you don't want to do anything, you just lazy. To walk is a problem. To do your daily activities still is a problem. You lose energy in this process as well. Feeling worthlessness or guilty. At times, when you are guilty or try to remember your past mistakes, it brings about depression. Let go your past. Let go the past mistakes. Try to focus. Try to encourage yourself. Because if you encourage yourself, you will conquer depression. Then recurring thoughts of death or suicide or attempt at suicide. Yeah. Today in Nigeria or in the country at large, we found out that people go on suicide. When you are depressed and you refuse to go out of that situation, at this moment, you don't focus any longer. All what is raising in your mind is, I don't want to live again. I am tired. You don't want to try any longer. You don't want to focus. So many thoughts will be running in your mind, and at the end of the day, the only result you could get is for you to attempt that in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. Then we look at the causes of depression. Here is the biological differences, brain chemistry, hormones, and inherited traits. In biological differences, people with depression appear to have physical changes in their brain. At times when we are depressed, just like what I say, you don't concentrate. Your brain don't give you the best result at that moment. If you don't go out of that situation, if you don't go out of that condition, you force yourself, you are stressing the brain at that moment. It does not have what to give out. Then the brain chemistry. Here is neurotransmitters or naturally occurring brain chemicals that likely play a role of depression. Still on the brain aspect, you don't allow your brain to be walked over. You don't allow yourself to be walked, because if you do, you are stressing the brain automatically and you don't focus. Then the hormones, you find out that especially in women, in maybe your first to second month of you are taking it, you will be depressed. It's normal. So what do you do at that moment? You just try. You focus. Try to bring yourself out of that condition. Anybody can be depressed. Then the strength, the ability of you to grow out of that situation is what makes you the conqueror. Then inherited trait. Here you see One of the twins is depressed. Definitely, the other one will be depressed. At times, it might not be at that moment. It will be later on. It might be a day or in a week time. In the name of Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Then we have type of depression. One is major depressive disorder with psychotic fusion. Here, in your physical appearance, what you could able to do, the things you are supposed to organize, you are unable to do them. Psychologically, you are not concentrating, you are disorganized. It affects you generally. And depression at that moment have taken over you. Then we have the dysthymia. It's a persistent low mood over a long period of time. If one is depressed, in this case, you see the person being sluggish in doing things. You don't want to put yourself out of that situation. You are there. Then, in the process, it affects you. In the name of Lord Jesus Christ. The rest of them are more, because of time, we move further. Then we go to the treatment. You support ranging from discussing practical solutions and contributing stress to the educating family members. What you have to do when you find out that a particular person or people, family are in this situation, you go to them, educate them, tell them the danger of depression, encourage them to do their day-to-day activities. You let them discuss to you. You don't interrupt them when they are discussing. Give them the privilege to relate all what you have with you. At times, you encourage those people to do what they like doing best, like singing or playing the games you like playing. Then try to find yourself in the group you like staying with. And that group should not be the ones that will put you in that situation more. Then you also have a psychotherapy. It's a particular therapy that if that person does not want to go out of that situation, then you can meet the physician that will assist him or explain the situation to that physician in the name of Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Then we have the biblical approach of depression. Yet, in Proverbs chapter 12, verse 25, mentions depression directly. Anxiety in the heart of man causes depression, but a good word marks it glad. That's a good place to begin. In this little careful complete God, fear the wisdom of Solomon provides both a diagnosis and prescription that can help people grow beyond depression. A heart full of anxiety is complete. Jesus said, "Come to me, all ye who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, because I am gentle and humble in heart. You will find rest for your soul. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Matthew chapter 11, verse 28-30. can also find stories of the Bible where certain people experience depression, like Moses, Numbers chapter 11, verse 10 to 16. David, Psalms chapter 51, Psalm 52, 32 down to 5. Elijah, 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 1 to 18. Job, which we all know how depressed Job was, but he was able to conquer because of the faith he had with God. Jonah chapter 4, verse 1 to 11. And Psalms chapter 73. Research has it that showing love to depressed persons as an integral part in curing depression. Sequels to this, the Holy Father, Mida Alumba Obu, has taught us to cultivate love in all our endeavors, that depression might not come into the heart of our brethren. In the name of Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Also, the Father teaches us through the Holy Raptorial that we should not resist the will of God and his other teachings like bearing the cross and so on. When we don't keep to these teachings, we expose ourselves to excessive stress. Psychologically, therefore, if we live these things the way God has programmed it to be, hoping and praying when trouble comes, this will go a long way in reducing depression, now and forevermore.
Amen.
In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Through the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Now and forevermore.
Amen. sing and glorify your form. I tell you, Lord.
Scholars of brotherhood, scholars bring forth good fruit that men may see and glorify your Father.
You must practice the Father's gospel. You must portray Holy Father, that men may see and glorify your Father. I tell you now.
Scholars of brotherhood, scholars bring forth good fruit that men may see and glorify your Father.
You must practice the Father's teaching, so you must portray Holy Father, that men may see and glorify your Father.
Scholars of brotherhood, scholars bring forth good fruit that men may see and glorify your Father.
Bring forth good fruit that men may see and glorify your Father. I tell you, Lord.
Scholars of brotherhood, scholars bring forth good fruit that men may see and glorify your Father.
Papa, give us the ability to spread thy gospel to the whole world.
Papa, give us the ability to spread thy gospel to the whole world.
Papa, give us the ability to spread thy gospel to the whole world.
Papa, give us the ability to spread thy gospel to the whole world.
Our ability comes from thee. We beseech thee, Lord, thy Holy Spirit, we pray that thy gospel may be spread.
Papa, give us the ability to spread thy gospel to the whole world.
Our ability comes from thee. We beseech thee, Papa, to give us the ability to practice thy gospel.
Papa, give us the ability to spread thy gospel to the whole world.
And they go forth, scholars of brotherhood, knowing Lord, and preach around the camp for the
Delay no more, scholars of brotherhood, going to the
describes the day-to-day. It involves the day-to-day running of your life. Now, let me tell you, some people will say today is not the perfect day, it's not the perfect time. There is no perfect time, there's no perfect day. You grab the time, you grab the day and make it perfect. There's one thing that guides me of recent that I stick to it. It's parts and it's a critical part of me. Like I call it the law of focus. I propound that for myself and I make sure I send that message to my brain. Because see, we are a product of what you send to your brain. It's just like somebody asking you, you are sending a command to your brain. That's how it will work. That's what you do. But if somebody is telling you, oh, sorry, I have to digress. Yes, we are in Africa. So, if somebody is telling you any particular message you are sending, any particular message you are communicating, you have to be conscious because you are sending a command to yourself. So, your daily plan, what are the plans you take daily? Those plans you take daily will sum up your success. Now, I want to narrow us to the 12 daily dozen as propound, as recommended by my mentor, John Maxwell. He talks about attitude. What's your attitude? What's the attitude you wear on daily basis? Is that attitude? Can people model that your attitude? Can people look at you as a model? Can people come close to you because of your attitude? That's the question you need to ask yourself. 2, focus. In my own plan, in my own philosophy, the law of my focus is when you are doing one thing, you are not doing the other. See, when I'm staying here doing this, you come call me. That your call is, my brother used to say, is inside where we call missed call. Because when the phone was programmed, there was a missed call. For students, you find out that the time, any moment you are concentrating, you are reading, that is when your own brother, your own loving friend will call you. They are to take you from that original plan to something else. And look, the moment you are taken from that original plan to somewhere else, that is where what my brother used to say is, do it now, or sometime becomes never. Because you see that thing, you are just distracted, you just moved away. That's how you go. You just be going like that. Before you come back to this thing, you will not be able to accomplish that project. Are we together? So the third one is health. Invest in your health. What do? Do you work out? Don't just sit. You just there. You just do. Say, my brother said something. As the father places, my dear, prayer will not work your health. If you are looking for tomorrow, work out. Go to the gym. Exercise yourself. Keep yourself fit. That's why I give credence to blessed brothers. In short, the moment I saw them doing those workouts, I was so thrilled. I said, whatever inspired these people is in the right perspective. Because they are planning, they are strategically planning their future, planning to be healthy tomorrow. See, life is governed by principle, it's not mysteries. If they don't fall into place, if you don't work them, it doesn't happen. It's give and take. I call it the 2R principles. What you release is what you receive. So let's move on to family. Think about your family, make calls, reach out to your people, let that relationship be there. Thinking, very, very critical. Every day, set out 15 minutes to think about yourself. Very, very critical. You are a product of your thoughts. What do you think? What do you think? That's the question. What are you thinking about yourself? Where would you be 2 years, 3 years from now? If you ask me, I will tell you, very, very true. I will tell you about my own thoughts. Like, sometimes I look at my thoughts. My brother said something about making bold plans. Sometimes I look at it, when I think, the only thing that has kept me over time is that I connect. I have that consciousness of connect. Whenever you sit down, there's something that tells you something. Something whispers to you. See, that is your own inspiration. That is your own money. You are just careless about it. You don't take it serious. You don't value it. That is your money you've lost. So consciously think about yourself for 15 minutes every day. The next one, commitment. Stay committed. Somebody has talked about committed. Once you're on something, make sure you follow it through. Follow that thing through. Make sure you get to the end. Finances. Manage your finances. Don't spend like you sit down, you want to finish 2-3 crates of beer and all of that. Faith. Invest in your faith. Some of us, let me tell us the simple truth. Some of us are so childish. Let me use that word. That we believe that our mommy's prayer. I used to be in that school of thought. Mommy prayer keeps me going. See, there is an extent at which your mommy prayer keeps you going. Salvation is personal. Work on yourself. Pray consistently. Develop yourself spiritually. Don't follow people's timeline. Again, relationship. Invest in serious relationship. Who are you dealing with? Somebody said, you'll be the same person you are in 5 years, if not for the books you read and the people you meet. Generosity. Give out. Millennials, they do the best charity. Go and check first 5 people in the world. They give out. Even check the Alumba. You see tight money. Now give out. Values and growth. What are your values? What do you stand for? If you are standing for something, even if you mean standing alone, stand for it. Growth. If plants should grow, how much more you human being? Plants should grow. Invest in your growth on daily basis. Take us to the next slide, please. Strategic planning. This is about the strategies involved. What are the strategies you involve in planning? You know, it includes high-level overview of the entire self. It is the foundation basis of the organization and will detect long-term decisions. Okay? It involves your vision. What are you seeing? Your vision, the mission, and values. What are you seeing yourself? Set those goals for yourself. Take us. Tactical. What are the tactics? What are the tactics you are using? Please. You need to do that. Look at the tactics. This takes us to how do I get there? My brother said something. I want to start at UN. You just sit down at one room. You are there. You are naive. You don't want to talk out. You are just there. You want to be a workaholic or book maniac. Yes, you are just there. You won't come fight, but you want to talk at UN. My brother, you see, I have seen a professor. As he's reading. Now, cross, wait. He's reading and the hand is shaking. I've seen a professor. Yes. That's the truth. So if you have a strategy to get into that top. Yes, take us to the next one. The tactical planning. And we have contingency. This is a very critical part. Everybody thinks life will be so rosy. It can never have it in mind that there will be problem. My brother used to say what he said. Immediately I meet a person, I have it in mind that person is going to act funny. It's going to annoy me. So I've prepared my mechanism. I've prepared my system, waiting for that anger, so that when it comes, I'll smile and shock it out. So bear it in mind. See, why so many people are depressed? You face challenges and you think it's the end of. See, me, if there's one thing that keeps me going, I have cultured myself, like my system, to managing challenges. When it comes, I know it is bringing the best out of me. So think in that direction. Have a contingency plan. Take us to the next one, sir. Planning process. First, you collect analysis, identify a problem, decide and implement. That's the application. Take us to the next one, sir. Benefit of. What are the benefits? What do you stand to get from planning? You will have clarification. It will be clear to you. This is where you are going to. Control. You will be able to minimize what you are spending. Your time, you manage your time to get what you are looking for. There's what I call MVPs, your most valuable priorities. Let me emphasize that. Every day, take out what is very prior, like the most important thing. Channel your energy to achieving those first before the other ones. I call it the MVPs. So it will help you manage and control your time. Management, a use method. Now you know what I mean by that. Evaluation. Take time, look at yourself. Ask yourself critical questions. Am I really doing well? Is my business growing? What is my life as a graduate? See, it's not just about graduate too. I'm telling you, see degree. If I want to talk about that, you will say her. So that's a matter for another day. Conclusion. Life will be meaningless without a plan. True or false? Beautiful. It is just like a water inside the canoe. It has no direction and stability. One funny mistake people make is that they think things will fall into place or success is automatic. My dear, it's not. No. I said there, no. Life is governed by principles, and you must plan and follow through this process if you want to be successful. Let me leave you with this. Prior planning prevents listen, I call it the 6 P's. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. Thank you very much.
Lord teachers, Christ, now and forevermore.
Amen.
Beloved brethren, we are grateful to the Father. I am particularly happy for those who have come.
It is a tradition here that when the fathers enter Benin, yes, three attitudes to the Spirit. Scripture that we should seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, that all other things shall be added unto us. The mother's envelope has arrived, and we know those things that contain the mother's envelope. We want to become a senator, a House of Representatives member.
All the others.
You can maintain union balance the building side. No way, what you wrong. Ije ita yere ita ite me tene ono frefnyen mendi ka ufongwe mendi nyo mendi ka ufongwe ba nsene ndu.
A spiritual food comes from the Holy Book of Brotherhood of the Cross and Star. The Holy Road to you. Okay, our Father's advice comes from the Holy Book of Brotherhood of the Cross and Star. The Holy Road to you, page 323, with the theme Lord.
Iworiko ejemilitan banseni abanga ima.
Stop eating.
1.12.
Stop eating 1.12. Show the light and the people will follow.
Hallelujah.
Iworiko nyemabo. Yaikir wana apa woto mewe yai kene wana do kenya about Jesus Christ.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
If we are pure in our thoughts, words, deeds, and pursuits, it means that this light in us will always shine and brighten everywhere.
Ejekere nyina sanake afonno ananandu awon ko wana me yayama kefra britie nika. Wana mfomi ayayama kefra britie.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
The spotless white that you put on does not make people see brightness in you.
Abiafo wasinake mi ndo ndegi baba ina mama weke wana do bilam.
Hallelujah.
It is the behavior that you show, the decorum you maintain, that makes people say that you are of God.
Eluwe mfu. Eluwe na mfu. Ana mwe tanga bu. Kefuru. Ema basi.
If you say that you are not of God, who are you then?
Ejeke bobogo ke mo idogo mabasi. Afudo menye ndiyo. Please, brother, the father's sermon is on. So we don't want any form of distraction, please.
You don't want to hear this one. Yeah.
Our Lord Jesus Christ has already said that you are the light of the world.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Abong in Jesus Christ mata tango kefuru wana hadirimbo.
When God had created every other things in the world and had rested,
Keba siama ke aboro frafin koma ni ne bondo.
He said,
Abasebo ndum.
let us make man in our own image.
Ya ngini goro wo isenke ugo nyen.
He created man in his own image and likeness.
Abasebo wo sen ugo yembiro mo.
That is why he has said that we are the light of the world.
Odo sen abasebo ndum kenyen iwana dirimbo.
You are the representative of God.
Afodo awodo abioto abasi kene dimboro.
Hallelujah.
You are holding the fort for him here.
Kene dimboro mi afodo obion anaga anobasi.
Therefore, you are to show the light to all his creation.
Ntobion tomoro from makama anobasi ana foshiu ana woro wana mporo kefra fet eduwem kefra fendara.
This in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We are the church. That's the peace of that time. So ABAS are finished. Now all is well now.
Ina miteno kwa we come to take the name of Jesus.
Yes.
19 naira to go. The father balances for the father. Brother, innocent, now.
Tell your brother.
Amen.